The King of Batavia, Willem Alexander of Amsberg, was renowned for his warmth and deep devotion to his family. Father to 3 daughters, he had never known the joy of raising a son. So when his daughters married, he naturally transferred his paternal affection to his 3 sons-in-law. Rainier of Orange-Nassau, 22, a thoughtful young man with a clear gaze, Franz of Kronland, 21, brimming with fearless vitality, and Cosmas of Speyer, barely 20, newly arrived from his distant Germanic homeland. Wishing to preserve the unity of a royal clan scattered across palaces and provinces, the king established a simple yet cherished tradition. Every other Sunday after morning worship, the family would gather, either at his residence or one of the princely estates, for a reunion. These meetings strengthened bonds, stirred laughter and shared memories, and gave Willem Alexander the joy of watching his grandchildren grow. He extended the same tender attention to Maria of Orange-Nassau, his eldest daughter's daughter-in-law, whom he regarded as a granddaughter of the heart. These gatherings often revolved around the king's stories. Far from a stiff monarch, he delighted in recounting, with a touch of theatricality, the feats of his youth. One tale in particular captivated the entire family, even the youngest, who could recite its details by heart. His incognito participation in the legendary Elfstedentocht, the 11 cities tour, a long-distance skating race through the towns of Friesland. On Batavia, life had resumed its rhythm after Saint-Andeol's decision. Friesland, now situated in the southern hemisphere, endured winters harsh enough to freeze its rivers and canals, reminders of ancient earthly seasons. In this renewed Friesland, a local delegation approached the king, seeking support to revive the race. Moved by their request, the monarch pledged his full backing before the Batavian parliament. Upon the official announcement of the Elfstedentocht's return, the 3 sons-in-law exchanged knowing glances. Without a word to the king, they agreed to register under an alias, Van Buren, as a quiet tribute to the pseudonym once used by their father-in-law, and to honor the man who had welcomed them across time and space, granting them a new homeland, a future, a family. For months, the 3 princes trained in secret, at dawn or deep into the night, skating relentlessly across the frozen lakes of their respective principalities, braving the cold winds with fierce determination. They sought neither fame nor records, only the honor of representing their house, their king, and the subjects of the realm. On the day of the race, they presented themselves as brothers, and through effort they had become just that. At the starting signal, they launched forward, focused and steady. The Elfstedentocht was no mere sprint. It was a trial of endurance, will, and heart. By the 3rd city, 50 kilometers in, they still held strong among the leading pack. Their refreshment stop was swift. The road ahead was long. Hours passed. The cold bit at their faces, stiffening their limbs, but none faltered. Together they pressed on across the frozen canals, under wooden bridges, through frost-covered towns where spectators cheered despite the chill. At last the finish line appeared, and only the 3 of them remained in the lead, a trio forged by relentless effort. They knew only one could win. In silence, they met each other's gaze. No words were needed. They gave it their all. Rainier was the fastest. Franz followed closely, then Cosmas, barely winded. They collapsed into one another's arms, overcome by exhaustion and joy. The crowd, touched by their brotherhood, roared with cheers. The king, present at the finish line, had the honor of awarding the medals. When the names Van Buren were read aloud, he raised an eyebrow and stepped forward. At once he recognized their faces, only half hidden beneath woolen caps. A bright laugh escaped his lips. Turning to the crowd, moved and delighted, he revealed the clever trick played by his sons-in-law, his adopted sons, the champions of the tour. The people burst into laughter with their sovereign, then spontaneously joined in a chorus of the royal anthem. Between rekindled traditions and forgotten bloodlines, discover The Shadow of the Princes, Tome 1 of the Chronicles of the Red Kings, a novel where history tilts and legends are reborn beneath distant skies. Available now on Amazon.